What's up friends, and welcome to another World Tour video. It has been so long since I've made one of these, I can hardly remember how to do them. How have you guys been? Do you know how long it's been since the last World Tour that I did? Have a guess. I looked this up. It's the 6th of June. That's insane. Now, I'm bad at math, so I don't know how many months that's been, but some of you that actually go to school and don't spend all day on Minecraft like I do might be able to tell me how many months it's actually been since we've had a World Tour. And let me tell you guys, I have been busy. This creative world has been filling up, and not just this creative world, I've been working on other projects as well. And I just thought that I'd check in, and I thought that I'd show you guys what I've been up to for all of these months. This might be a long video, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to link in the description, in order, every single one of these builds. If it has a tutorial, I will link it in order that it appears in the video, and I will also include the link which will show you how to make each individual thing. For instance, the first thing that we're going to be looking at on my lovely completed campsite, which is what we've been staring at, is my caravan. So that will be the first link in the description below, and if you click that, it will show you how to make this lovely little caravan, everything that you see right here. And not only do you get the outside with the caravan, but I've also included a nice little interior as well. And this will actually all be included, if I can work my way out, in my campsite tutorial playlist. Everything around here is actually 100% fully included. Also, this car. This car is a custom car. It works on all of the roads that I build. You may notice that I build roads in a particular way, and every single one of my roads will fit this nice car here. And it also fits that caravan. That car's also custom built. You can make it any sort of color you want. You can change the blocks. As long as it has a stair and a slab block, you can make that car absolutely any color that you want. So you could invert the colors, or you could change it completely. Pretty nice looking car, if you ask me. That will be the second build in the description. The next thing that we have here, very simple, but we have a well. If you guys have ever wondered how to make a well, this is a pretty decent looking one. You guys can find a link to that in the description below as well. You can for everything. I'm going to keep reminding you. We also have this campsite, so that includes all of these tents that we have, this cozy little fire that you can tell stories around. This even has a tutorial. I think that these are pretty decent looking tents. I hope that you guys think so as well. The next thing that we have, if we move a little bit further down here, is we have an RV. Do you want to travel around in style? Do you not want the little tiny caravan over there, but do you want an RV? Well, I'll show you how to build this. This thing's absolutely awesome, and it doesn't only include the outside, which I love by the way, but it also includes the inside with a nice little interior. You've got a cooker, you've got a fridge, you've got a bedroom, you've even got a bathroom in this thing. It's a pretty good build. I like this one a lot. It's one of my favorites actually, one of my favorite vehicles that I have ever built. Plus, we also have a nice little wooden cabin to go on your campsite. That's right, we have a nice little wooden cabin. It has everything that you can see here, including the little cooking pot that we have right there. And we also have a little bit of interior, just in case you want to have a bit of a look. It's nice and cozy. We even have a porch that overlooks this lovely looking pond. And this is the wooden cabin. So, if you want to make that, once again, everything is in the description below. And even this thing, do you guys know what this is? You might not be able to gauge what this is. It's kind of like an old-fashioned outhouse, which is basically like an outdoor toilet. If you want to go and have a poo in the forest, basically, to be blunt, this is where you'd go. You'd go in something that looks a little bit like this. If you've ever watched Shrek, you guys all know what that thing is. Also has a tutorial. It's kind of cool. It even has the little moon in the door. I love that thing. Also, we have a little miniature boat. Whilst this doesn't seem like much, this is a pretty cool boat. You can throw these out on the lake, or if you have an ocean or any large body of water, you might want to build one of these boats. And you can customize the sails and the color of the boat, and you can make it, you can make multiples of these, and you can really have a fleet of boats out on your water if you want to. But that has a tutorial. It does kind of look like eyes. It's freaking me out. I prefer just prefer the white sail, to be completely honest. But hey, whatever you're into. We also have a lake house. So if you don't just want a random wooden cabin in the forest, we have a lake house. That's right. Look at this thing. It has multi-stories. It's looking nice. It's looking bright. It bodies the water. we have, oh god, I forgot how much I like the downstairs of this. It feels so cozy down here. We've got a nice little interior, we've got a fire, we've got a little fireplace, we've got a settee, and we've got a kitchen area. We come up here, we've got a nice little platform that overlooks the big giant lake, and we also have, if we come up here, we have a little attic bedroom, and once again we have something that we have a balcony so that we can have a look out on the lake. And something that I love about this is we have a nice cherry tree out here, or a cherry blossom tree I should say, and we also have a nice little barbecue as well. So it's a really nice house. I love this lake house. But we also have this boathouse. We have boats on this thing. We may as well have a boathouse, and as you can see, if you wanted to, in this boathouse, which also has a tutorial, separate tutorial, you can have a boat, you can take it out onto the lake, and you can speed around, and well, you can have a nice little bit of fun out here. So not only can you have an actual like fictional boat which really doesn't work or move, you can have one of these and you can speed around and have a bit of a look out on the lake. Speaking of the lake, this lake itself, including the bridge and the pier, also has a tutorial. That's right, I actually took the time to show you guys how to sculpt out a lake that looks a little bit like this, or however you want to meld it. It's a pretty cool tutorial. It'll show you how to add one of these, and it'll also show you this awesome little bridge that we have, and also this little pier. Feel free to check that out in the description. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my complete campsite. Why don't I move on and I'll show you what else I've been up to. So that's my campsite. Let me show you what else. So in the last world tour that I did, I left off with a half-made Uncle Grandpa RV. It has since been made and been given a tutorial. Now, I love this thing to bits. You guys didn't seem to like it as much, but I think that this thing looks absolutely insane, and I think it looks really, really cool. Like I said, you guys didn't seem to be so keen on this thing, but hey, you know what? Not every one of these can be a winner. I love it, and my favourite view, just in case you're wondering, I like this one right on the front left-hand corner because it looks absolutely insane. Uncle Grandpa RV. Moving on down, we have something that I've never made a tutorial for. I do, in the future, have aspirations to build, like, a bus shelter, and a bus, and kind of like a bus, what are they called? Like a bus station, there we go, like a bus station, that's what I'm looking for. A bus station, a bus, and like a bus shelter and stuff, and places where you'd store buses for your city and town builds. And I built one of these, and I never built any of the buildings to go with it, but that's a pretty cool, like, English looking red bus, and this doesn't have a tutorial, so I won't include this in the description, but that doesn't have a tutorial. Moving on down, we have a tennis court. Oh, I do love this tennis court, but we will have a closer look at this when I show you guys my park at the end. This is included in my park. I've built a big giant public park, and this is one of the builds associated with it. We'll have a better look at this later. Next up, we have a bank. You guys loved this bank to bits. It is absolutely amazing. I love this bank. It looks fantastic. It's just so simple. It's so clean. You can see why it is just as soon as you look at it. And on the inside, we have some ATMs, and we have a place where we can actually collect money from the actual cashiers. And in the back here, we have a couple of chests, and we even have a little vault room back here as well. You guys will be able to find a tutorial for this, no problem. I'm sure that you guys would love to make this bank if you haven't already. If you're a city or a town or anything like that, you'd love it. What I then started to work on but never finished was a security van. You know how banks have those big giant armored trucks? That's what this is, but I could never get it to look right. As you can see, it looks a little bit weird, so I never fulfilled this and I never made it. Moving on down, we have a Disney castle, or a Disney themed castle to be more specific. Not only do I show you how to make the actual Disney castle itself, which is the center part, but I also show you how to do the outside. This didn't receive as much love on the channel as I expected, to be completely honest with you, but hey, I think it looks awesome, and maybe you guys just missed it. Maybe you love it as much as I do. But this is the Disney themed castle. Oh, I didn't do an interior. Never mind. I thought I did an interior. I didn't. All we have here is a bed with a leaky roof. But this is called my Disney themed castle if you guys want to make this. And like I said, not only do I show you how to make the center part of the actual castle, but I show you how to make all of the walls and all of the gardens and stuff like that. Even the bits on the floor I show you how to make. Looks awesome. Moving on down, we have, let me show you guys, we have, this is one of my favorites, and another one of these these that you guys weren't that bothered about. This is my arcade machine house. It's kind of like a Space Invaders house. I think that this thing looks absolutely amazing. I actually like it better than my claw machine house, and I've made another house in this sort of theme. I think that this is the best one that I've ever made in this sort of theme, like older, kind of like retro style, big like claw machine houses and arcade machine houses and slot machine houses and stuff. I think this is absolutely amazing, the best one that I've done, but you guys didn't seem to like it that much. But if you want to make this is just called like my arcade machine house. Moving on down, we have Purple Shep. A lot of you guys wanted me to make a Purple Shep statue, so I did. Pretty self-explanatory. I love that face. Ah, beautiful. Moving on down, we have a candy shop. Now, this is kind of like a this is kind of like what you would find in like Hansel and Gretel, like an evil witch's lair in the middle of the forest, luring children in by putting like sweets on a gingerbread house. This is kind of what this looks like, but I wanted an over-the-top like candy shop, and that's what this is. I've not done the interior very well, to be honest, because I didn't know how best to do a candy shop interior, but the outside I think looks fantastic, and in the video I show you how to make all of this stuff, so check that out if that's your thing. Moving on down, we have one of my most glorious creations. We have the YouTuber head house. Now, I believe this has 7 levels in total. Shall we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, we have 7 levels of YouTuber heads. This thing's pretty special. It's probably the biggest house, technically, that I've ever made. The idea is that we have a whole set of YouTubers, and we've hollowed out their heads, so we've turned them into houses. As you can see, this is Stampy. This is, I believe, Stacy Plays, Dan, LD Shadow Lady, and on the very end is Captain Sparkles, I do believe, and each one of these heads are connected together. You should be able, oh, it's on the back wall, there we go. Each one of these ladders connects up to the next level and the next level and the next level, and each one of these is supposed to either be an individual room or it's supposed to connect together into a big giant house. A tutorial for this, I'll just link you the first one in the actual description below, and I'll show you how to, and I'll link the description that will show you how to make level 1, and then you guys can, if you want, make the entire thing, or you can mess about with it. But this is the YouTuber head house. You guys loved this thing. Moving on down, we have, this is a sheep house. Now, I've made loads of houses that house mobs. This is the sheep one. I think that this is kind of a unique idea. So this sheep house is kind of a nice way to split all of the sheeps apart, which sounds really awful. So here we have, for instance, like a red sheep in the red section, we have an orange sheep in the orange section, yellow sheep, yellow section, and my favorite, the green sheep in the green section. And inside here we have a nice little sheep barn, and you can segregate them if you like, or you can keep them all together. And I've saw a couple of you guys on Twitter, which is really awesome, actually extended this out of the back, and you made it so you made the whole thing, and you made it so that each sheep could get, like, there was like a purple sheep section and a pink sheep section, etc, etc, and you made it a little bit bigger, and you included every single variety of sheep. I love this thing. You guys can find this in the description below, of course. This next one is, I'm so proud of this, I love this. This is my snow globe house. I think that this is a really awesome idea. So outside we have a big giant snow globe, right, which is pretty cool, but if you come inside of here, not only can you have an actual house down here, down in the base of the globe, but if you come up, and this is my favorite part, inside we have a nice little snowy scene, and inside the actual snow globe house, like the mini house inside the snow globe, we have a nice little tiny sort of starter house, and I think that this is absolutely awesome. I love this. You guys didn't like this one as much as I thought you would, but I think that this is an absolutely fantastic idea. Maybe it's because I didn't make it at Christmas. Maybe that's the problem, but hey, I think that this thing looks amazing. Moving on down a little bit more, we have a jungle tree house. Now, this is the biggest tree house that I've ever made. The actual tree house itself, like the house that you'd live in, isn't massive, but it has loads of platforms that you can make more of, and you can extend them, and you can make additional houses and little huts and tree huts and stuff. It's really kind of cool. I love this thing to bits. This is my tree house. You guys will be able to find this in the description below with all of the other stuff. Moving on down, we have, you guys have already seen this, this is the RV. Love this thing. Moving on down once more, I made something that is a little bit useless, kind of, but it is good for decoration. This is a duck house. I've made the sheep house, I've made the cow house, cat, dog, all of that, I decided to make a duck house. Ducks don't technically exist in Minecraft, technically, but you can use chickens if you want to, and this makes kind of like a good decoration for parks and for stuff like that. You guys will actually see this later in my park, which we will tour at the very end of this video. I'll show you more later. This is a little bit of a conservatory that I was working on once upon a time to kind of like add to suburban houses. I never got it looking good, so I never made a tutorial for this, although I'd love to come back to it in the future because I'm always looking for nice little accessories that I can improve my suburban houses with. Moving on, we have, oh god, I love this one. This is my spiral water slide. So I made one water slide once upon a time. It's actually on that row somewhere. We might even be able to see it from here. And you guys loved it to death. I think it has over 500,000 views. So I decided to make another water slide in my true fashion, like 3 months later, and you guys loved this. This is called my spiral water slide. It functions just as a regular water slide would, plus you can extrapolate this into a big giant water park if you so chose. You could, well, the water's a little bit uneven in this one for some reason, but you could make this into a big giant water park. You see at the base we have a load of beds and everything, and some beds that is, and you could absolutely just start off a nice water park with something that looks like this. It looks absolutely amazing. I hope you guys like it too. That's my spiral water slide. Moving on down, we have one of my unfortunate accidents. This is a tiki head house. Let me show you what this thing's supposed to look like. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the tiki head house. Yeah, this is how this is supposed to look, and if you leave this fiery little critter alone, the fire spreads, then it'll stay like this. That fire in the mouth makes this thing look amazing, but it is also a little bit volatile, so you may want to just be a little bit careful about that one. But if you fancy the need for a tiki head house, like quite a few of you guys asked for, well, there you go, look no further, that's in the description. Whilst we're here, we do have a couple more builds in this world which are best viewed in this world. We have a tiki bar. A lot of you guys were asking for a tiki bar, and I made one, and I think that this thing looks really, really awesome. This thing can be added to your world on just a beach, or it could possibly potentially be added to a suburban house, like a nice big one or a mansion, something like that. It's got a nice little pool bar as well. Looks really, really cool. But it's not the only build that we have in this world. We do have another build in here. We also have my underwater house. Now, this is best viewed. You know what? We'll actually check out that underwater house later because it's probably easiest to see it above ground, and we can have a look at my beach house. And if you want to see a duplicate, there's one right over there as well. So this is my beach house. If you guys want to build this on the beach, it looks really, really awesome. I love this thing to bits. Blends nicely into the atmosphere. It's got a nice pool, it's got a nice lawn area, it's got a balcony, it's got a nice little shady area here, and I haven't decorated the interior on this one, although there's not too much that I put in there anyway, so you're probably not missing it. But that is my beach house, guys. This is kind of like one of my biome builds as well, so check that out if you like. Back into my current creative world, the next build that I have to show you is my Xbox One house, which you guys loved. So this is a giant Xbox One, including the controller. I show you how to make both of them, and the inside of this is supposed to be used as a house. As you can see, we have a lot of room inside here, can turn this into a massive house. But if you don't want that, if you want just a big giant Xbox One, then this thing has absolutely everything that you may want. It has all of the fans, it has all of like the griddling that you have on the Xbox One, it has all of the ports and stuff in the back. I mean, I modeled this on, well, obviously my own Xbox One that I'm sat staring at right now, so feel free to check that out in the description below should you choose. That is just the beach house that we just had a bit of a viewing of. If you do want to have a look at the interior, as you can see, I didn't really do too much. I added a nice little bit of seating and stuff, added a bit of a kitchen, more seating. I didn't really know what to add to this place, to be completely honest with you, but that's my beach house. Better viewed on the beach, I think. And this is, oh, I love this. This is my Ghostbusters headquarters. Look at this. It's actually really, really close to what the actual Ghostbusters headquarters looks like, which is hard to do. A lot of the time, you can't really, like, 100% fully copy something, but I think that this looks really, really close. We even have, like, the traffic light outside. And not only do I show you guys how to make the Ghostbusters headquarters, but I also show you how to make Ecto-1, which is, of course, the Ghostbuster car. It's not 100% perfect, the Ecto one, but I had to make it really small, obviously to like fit on the street and to scale with the house, and I think it looks pretty close. I think it looks great, and if you're any fan of Ghostbusters whatsoever, you'll know what both of these two things are without having any sort of explanation, so check those out in the description below if you so choose. Next thing we have, of course, is the Tiki Bar. You guys have already seen that. We have the, my slot machine house. Now, I love this thing. I think it looks pretty good. It could look a little bit better, I'll admit that. I could have done a better job with this, but I don't know how exactly. I spent a lot of time on this, believe it or not. I just couldn't get this thing looking 100% perfect, but you guys asked for this, I made it. This is a slot machine house. It goes well with the arcade machine house and the claw machine house if you guys like it. You guys didn't like it too much on the channel, but there you go. That's kind of like a Minecraft themed slot machine should you want to use it, and right at the bottom here is where you would actually like enter the house. Well, there's no entrance here, but that's where you'd actually enter this thing, and you can make it so big because that thing is absolutely massive. Moving on down, here we have a pretty cool house actually. This is a Finding Dory theme house, and we also have little fishies as well. So I actually have a tutorial that will show you how to make Dory. It's really quite easy to make, and the idea with this is that it's kind of like a secret house. So you would place like ladders on the back of one of these kelp, and you would have like glass blocks leading you to the inside of this Dory, and on the inside here you could very easily turn this into an actual house. Now, I'm not in the world that I make tutorials in, like this is where I like design stuff, so I don't have like what I'm trying to show you, like where you'd actually climb the kelp and you'd enter the house and you'd have stuff in there, but that is the general gist of it, and if we were in that world I'd be able to show you a little bit better. But yeah, Finding Dory house, I love that. Here we have a nice little collection of Pokemon plushies. So these are just supposed to be nice little Pokemon statues that you can put together in less than 15 minutes. Each one of these takes you less than 15 minutes, and you can throw these in your world and they look awesome. This is Pikachu, love it. This is Bulbasaur. This is actually my favourite out of all four of these. That's Bulbasaur, looking great. Love the bulb. We have Charmander. Oh, Charmander looks a little boss-eyed here, but I still love him anyway. He even has a nice little particle effect with the fire on his tail. And this is, of course, Squirtle, who's looking cute with his little kawaii mouth. I do love him. I'll leave each one of these. You guys can find these in the description below, of course, all in order. And the next build that we have here is my public swimming pool. I'll show you more of this once we view the park build because it's there. The same thing with this. This is a skate park. I'll show you more of this when we view my park because it's there. And this thing, whilst it looks impressive, I bet you guys want to have a look at it. This is my mini golf park, but I'll show you this once we view my actual public park. Moving on down, we have a cow house. So, just like with the... Oh, we even have some cows. Wonderful. Hello, little Moo Moo friends. So, a Moo Moo is a League of Legends champion. So, I don't know why I just thought of that, little Moo Moo friends. Anyway, like I've made a pig house, like I've made a chicken house, cow, dog, cat, etc, 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 we have a cow house. I actually really love this thing because it works really nicely. Like, we have a nice way to separate all of the cows into each individual little sections, like the outside, the inside. We even have an upstairs part, which I love to bits, so you can look down and you can look out the window and everything, looking pretty nice. Let me see if I can actually get down these ladders. Really easy to build, fits in well with any of your worlds. Like if you have a farm or if you just want to have a nice little animal sanctuary, kind of like a little zoo, which I still plan on making, by the way, then build this, you'll love it. Next up, we have one of my more recent city builds. I love this thing. I love this movie theatre to bits, and I hope that you guys do as well. It's doing quite well on the channel recently. My stuff doesn't typically get like loads and loads of views in like just a day or a week or two. It takes time for my stuff to ramp up, but you guys, I can already tell, you guys love this thing. You guys absolutely love it. So this is a movie theatre, as you might be able to tell from the big theatre and the popcorn on top. Not only do I show you how to do the outside of the movie theatre, but I also show you how to do the inside of the movie theatre as well. And something kind of cool. Oh, I didn't include it in this one, that's a shame. On the tutorial version, I have a little Enderman head poking out of the top of this, which looks really cool, like out of the bottom of the popcorn. I love it. So yeah, in this thing you have like, you can buy your tickets, you've got your confectionery where you can buy all of your overpriced snacks, and we have the big giant movie theatre screen. I show you how to make all of this outside and in, so feel free to check out my movie theatre tutorial. Next down on the list, this is a food cart. I'll show you how to build. I'll show you this when we enter the park, because it's in the park and there's quite a few of them. Next, we have something that may never get seen on the channel. This is kind of like an Ender themed house. So in the end, obviously, I don't think you can even build houses in the end. I don't know if you can navigate the end. I've never been there in Minecraft, believe it or not, but this is kind of like a prototype for an end-themed house. We've got like the Eye of the Ender, or whatever it's called. Once again, I'm sorry if I get these things wrong. I don't play survival. So this is kind of like an end-themed house. I really like it, but I've never made a tutorial for it because you guys were already always asking for other stuff. And yeah, it's kind of like nice and colourful, and it's what I would imagine would be kind of like in the end, something similar to this. And moving on down, we have, this is kind of like, I believe, an Ender crystal. Like, I wanted to turn this into a house. Like, I wanted to make the base, the burning base, and I wanted to turn the big, giant, like sideways, kind of like cubey thing in the center into a house. But I don't think it'd look good, so I decided to stop making it because I didn't think that it'd look good whatsoever. So I decided to stop. I might pick this up at some other point in time. Then I'm going to quickly show you. So I made a video showing you each one of these, which is my kind of just like a 5 inspiration survival houses. So if you guys want to see any of these in closer detail, look for in the description like 5 inspirational survival houses, and that's what these are, starter survival houses. This is a nice wooden one. This is a brick one. This is a nice little snow one, a love and igloo. This is a desert one. And this is a regular like spruce tree house, which I love each one of these. But in the video, I don't show you how to make any, although there are tutorials for some of these. But in the video, I show you each one of these in greater detail, and you can have a look if you like. This is the underwater house that I teased you with earlier. So imagine this, but underwater. You guys get the idea. It's actually easier to look at it on land, funnily enough. And this thing functions very well as just like a regular house. I love this thing. The inside of it I like a lot especially. So for the inside of this, you'll be able to see that we have a nice massive storage area. We have a nice place to keep weapons and armor and stuff. We have a nice little enchanting area, and we also have a bedroom, which is just, well, this is just literally just a bedroom. There's nothing else in here. It's nice and colorful. It's nice and bright. It functions very well as a secret base, despite the fact that it's nice and lit up now, like it is. When you get underwater, it's really difficult to see, honestly. I mean, if you hid the hatch, if only you knew where it was, it's a nice little secret base that very few people would know about, unless you told them. Really cool. That's my underwater house. I've only made technically 2 of these. The first one was a shark. This next one is, you guys have seen the Xbox house, right? Same thing, but with a PS4. I like the Xbox One more, because this one, it's so hard to make and design this. It's not hard to build it, but it was hard to design this because the PS4 is a very weird shape for Minecraft. It's a big, giant, slopey shape, and I think that I made it look pretty good. You can see on the back here we have a bit more detail, but to actually design this thing and without the PS logo, like right on the front, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what this thing is. But yeah, if you want to make this, there's a description. There is a tutorial in the description below for it. Moving on down, we have, what is this? Oh, there's no tutorial for this house. This was used in a kind of like a survival versus a creative mode comparison build-off. I'll link the video just in case you guys want a little bit of a closer look at this house, but there's no tutorial for this per se. Moving on down, we have a bowling alley. Ah, I love this. I forgot how much I love this thing. So this is a bowling alley. Not only do I show you how to make the actual bowling alley itself, but I also show you how to do the inside the bowling alley. So in here, we have a nice little drink area. We have a place where you get the shoes. We have a place where you get the bowling balls. We have a place where you'd actually bowl, and you have nice little scoreboards and everything. The tutorial version is actually nicer than this. The tutorial version actually has a lot more going for it. It has a lot more plants and stuff. Check it out if you want to check out the proper tutorial version, because I show you how to do the inside and the outside, and it looks even better than this one. The next thing that I'm going to show you, moving on down, I know that I never showed you how to build one ender house, but I had an idea for a second ender house, kind of like a floating magical platform. I only got as far as making the platform, but I should complete this house at some point in time. I'm not saying that I will, but I'm saying I definitely should, and I could make a really awesome ender house. I wonder if you guys would even like it. But yeah, that's kind of like the platform for it. I'd then build the house on top of this. Maybe even the house that you guys have already seen would work nicely on this. We'd have to see. This is a prototype version of a water slide. This hasn't been built yet, like the proper version of this, but you will see a version that looks kind of similar. I kind of want to make like a big twisty water slide in kind of like a tube style with different colours. I might use like yellow and blue, and you guys will see this on the channel eventually. It's actually one of my... I have 2 more ideas in my head for water slides. This is one of them, except you guys will see it in a different form in the future. The next thing I have to show you is one of my favourite suburban houses of all time. As a matter of fact, I think this is my best designed suburban house of all time. If you were to make one of them, I would tell you to make this one, because not only do I show you how to make the outside, which looks awesome, but I also show you how to fully design the inside. So on the inside, we have a nice looking living room, we have a nice dining room, we also have, I love the kitchen, we have an amazing looking kitchen. I actually have a tutorial for a kitchen. Inside here, in the tutorial version, there's a car in here. I actually place a car in here, and I actually make like some workbenches and stuff. And upstairs in this suburban house, we also, hard to navigate this, it's very hard to navigate. We also have like a bedroom, which has got 2 separate parts, including a balcony. We have a bathroom, which is in here, and we also have a spare bedroom, which is here. Looking awesome. I love this. It's my favorite suburban house that I've ever made, because I made the interior. I designed this house knowing that I wanted to make the interior, which I don't usually do. Usually I just make a house and I'm like, guys, if you really want it, I'll make an interior. But no, this time I actually made the house in knowing that I wanted to do the interior as well, and I think it looks great. Outside here, out of the back of the house, we have a couple of builds. We have a nice little barbecue, which you guys have seen before right at the start of the video. We have a nice little tree house build, and we have a nice little pond, and we have just like a nice sitting area to feed the fish in the pond. I'll show you how to do all of this stuff in the suburban house. I believe this is suburban house number 8. Hope you guys like this one. You guys will see that down below in the description. Next, we have a food truck. You'll see this more in the park. Moving on down, we have, oh, I love this, I forgot about you, a bakery. This is a bakery, like an old-fashioned bakery. This fits better in like a town or a village rather than a city, but you could squeeze this into a city, no problem. I like this. I like this thing a lot. You've got like an old-fashioned board. It reminds me a lot, if you've ever seen like the old Snow White, like the dwarves and stuff, it reminds me of the film. I don't know why. Nice little interior here. We even have a nice bit of an upstairs. Nothing up here, but you could turn this into a room or a bakery room or something. I don't know. I love it. It's even got a nice little wheat farm all the way around the back. You guys will find a tutorial for this in the description below if you so choose. Moving on down, we have a bigger build. This is Toys R Us. You guys have been asking me to make Toys R Us for as long as I can remember, so I decided to go ahead and make it for you. Hopefully you guys like this one. You will have seen it by the time I've recorded this video, because I'm actually recording this video but way before you'll actually see it. Probably about a week and a half before you actually see it, but I don't know how this is going to do on the channel, but there's actually a tutorial for this as we're talking. Moving on down, I've said that so much today, we have a water slide. Ooh, look at this. So can you guys see earlier when we were making a tube water slide? Well, this is what I ended up with. I decided to make one of these instead of like a big giant spirally water slide, but I will eventually end up with a big spiral. Just, it'll look a little different from this one. This thing is on the channel and you guys are loving it to bits. It's getting so much attention already. I can tell that you guys are, I don't know how many views it's going to reach, but you guys are really loving it, and I love you for it as well. This is, again, it's just a nice little addition to a water park. It looks awesome. I love it. This is my favorite slide that I've made so far. I've only made 3 of them, but it's one of my favorites. It looks so classic. It reminds me of Mario. Love it to bits. Next thing we have down here, now this hasn't appeared on the channel yet for me, but by the time you see this video, this arcade will have appeared on the channel. Not only do I show you how to make the outside of the arcade, which looks insane, by the way, I decided to make just a mental looking arcade from the outside. I don't think you can miss this thing. But I also show you how to do the inside, which I love as well. So the inside looks very cool. And the inside we have like that desk where you can collect the prizes, where you can get money and stuff. We have the basketball game where you throw it in, you get tickets. We have like, you know, in arcades where you have those things where you can like sit down on a big giant fake plastic motorbike or a car or something. That's that game. We have just like a load of random like arcade machines like this. We also have like, you know, like Night of the Living Dead and Resident Evil and stuff, where you have like those guns that you can like grab and you can like pretend to shoot stuff on the screen. That's what this thing is. On the opposite side here, we have a claw machine, which actually has prizes in it, and we also have some, these are, that's what I wanted to call arcade cabinets. That's what these things are. Love them. Love this thing. This is a really cool build. I hope that you guys love this one. Like I said, it's not been on the channel yet as I'm recording the video, but by the time this is up, you guys will have seen it. So yeah, awesome looking arcade. And the next thing that I actually have for you, this is a kitchen. Can you remember me saying that I made a kitchen tutorial all by itself? Well, this is it. This is that. This is the kitchen itself. I love this. I love this bit. You guys loved it on the channel as well. If you don't know what to do in each particular room of a house, I never do anyway. I never know what to do in each particular room. I never know what to build exactly. Have a look at this kitchen, take some inspiration from it, and well, like there's a tutorial in the description. You can have a closer look at it there. But if you find yourself lacking ideas for a room, which I do a lot, check out those sort of tutorials. Next thing that we have, very similar to the YouTuber head house, we have the Pokemon starters house. We have Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. The reason that Bulbasaur is green is simply to differentiate himself from Squirtle, although realistically he should be blue. These are just supposed to be heads that are interconnected like the YouTuber head houses, and you can turn them into individual rooms or a big giant house itself. Up to you. Looks very cool. Charmander would absolutely burn down, by the way, if fire was turned on. The next thing that we have down here is we have a cafe. You guys love this thing, and I love it too. This is just a nice, like, old-fashioned cafe. I show you how to do the inside and the outside in its own particular tutorial. Loads of seating, nice little desk, nice little reception area where you'd actually be able to buy your cookies, buy your cake, buy your tea, your coffee. Nice little seating area up top, and a nice little seating area right on the terrace as well. I'll show you how to do all of this in one video. Hope that you guys like that one. Love the cafe. Then moving on down, we have something that once again hasn't appeared on the channel yet. Oh, actually, this is actually in my public park, so we'll skip this one and you'll see this a little bit better later. This is a public toilets though, by the way, just in case you're curious. Moving on down, we have something you have seen. This is a barbershop. Want to get your hair cut in Minecraft? This is where you go. In the tutorial itself, not only do I show you how to do the outside, which is obviously this, but I also show you how to do the inside, which looks quite good as well. I think I did a pretty decent job. I like the chairs a lot. I like the flooring. Plus, we have kind of like the different styles that you can choose from. You ever walked into a barbershop and said, "Give me the zombie cut"? I have. It didn't work out well. So that's the barbershop. Again, like the interior, just like with the cafe, the interior is included in the actual video itself. Probably take you less than 25 minutes, half an hour to make that. Then we have something a little bit strange. A lot of you guys were asking for a cookie house. So I made you a cookie house. This is a cookie, that's a Minecraft cookie by the way, being dipped into a glass of milk. The interior of this is hollowed out to make a room. In the actual tutorial itself, the cookie house tutorial, it has a better interior, so check that out if you're curious as to what the interior could look like. That's a bit little basic, to be honest, in comparison to the other one. Does anyone else see a face at the top of the cookie, by the way? Release me. Moving on down, we have... So, I made a video showing you guys each one of these individual cute little mob statues. So, left to right, I'll run them off quickly. We have a cat, a villager, a horse, a rabbit, a chicken, a dog, a sheep, a pig, mushroom, regular cow. I'll link the video that will show you each one of these individually. It's only like an 8-minute video or so, and you can check that out and you'll be able to see these in a little bit greater detail. I love them. Some of these will appear on the channel, by the way. You'll see tutorials for about 4 or so of these. So yeah, don't be surprised if you see them again. Whilst we're here, this is a bathroom. This is a bathroom, like my kitchen. I decided to make a bathroom. I think that this thing looks really cool. Once again, it's in a suburban setting. My favourite houses to make, other than theme houses, are suburban houses. So I focus on those mainly with the interiors. But a tutorial will exist for this by the time that I have recorded it. So again, I'm recording in the past in relation to when you guys will see this video. You guys will see this in like a week and a half. I'm recording this now because I'm actually going on holiday. So this is a bathroom. Look out for the tutorial. I'll leave a link down there in the description below. And following the row along from the animals, we have another room. This is a living room. Now, I'm not sure if this is done or not. So this doesn't have a tutorial, and it won't, even by the time that I'm back off of holiday. But I started work on a nice little living room. I think it looks really, really good. I don't know whether to change anything before I make a tutorial for this. Moving on down, we have one of my favorite builds in its own category. So I like this for a couple of reasons. This is a radio station. I like how small it is, I like how identifiable it is, and I like how functional this is. It looks good, you can tell it's a radio station. It's very small, it's compact, but the interior is amazing because it works so nicely. You have a nice reception area, you have a place like this is where the secretary would be, this is where you'd like, oh, you're here, Mr. TSMC. Well, you'll be on the radio soon. Go and take a seat here and have a bit of a cup of coffee. Delicious. Tastes like dirt. And then, once you actually called onto the radio, you go through this door into the hallway. Oh, they're on air. Better run quickly. And then you can actually have your live radio chat here with the two microphones and imagine somebody over there in that seat. And we have loads of decorations on the wall, and we also have like a sound room as well. So there's always people watching you, I think, when you're on the radio, and that's what these creepy little voyeuristic people do. So yeah, radio station. Love this to bits. Don't know whether you guys like it yet or not on the channel. Moving on down, you have the Eco House. So this is a modern Eco House, or at least this is what it will be described as on the channel. Never made anything quite like this before. I really like this. It's a very different style of building than I've done before. It's kind of like combining two elements of kind of like a rustic wooden house. Not even a rustic wooden house, kind of like just like a weird kind of like cabin in the woods-ish house into kind of like a modern sort of twist with a garden and stuff on top. Very cool. I'll show you how to do the outside of this house. I don't show you how to do the inside, although in the video itself, in the tutorial itself, I do give you a nice little bit of a tour and I show you what this house could actually become if you did do the inside. So yeah, this is entitled My Modern Eco House. Hope you guys like this one. It's not been posted on the channel just yet. Moving on down, we have my next suburban house. We're almost at the end of this world. We have my next suburban house. So you guys have been asking for suburban houses non-stop. I made my last one, you wanted more. So I've made you another one. This is going to be suburban house number 9. Doesn't have a tutorial yet, and it won't even by the time that I'm back, but I've done the outside a little bit. I've not finished it yet, but I have done the inside. So this is the inside. We have a nice little kitchen in here. We have, I'm missing the buttons off of the fridge freezer, and we have a nice little living room. You can see that the living room and the kitchen's very much inspired by my other like living room and kitchens. Upstairs here we have a bedroom, which is this nice simple bedroom. It's actually a bit ugly. I might mess about with it a little bit. I don't think I'm going to do a tutorial for the inside and outside. I want to do this anyway. And we have a nice little bathroom, which is a little bit different. We have a toilet, we have a place to wash your hands, mirror, and we have a big giant like hot tub bath, which I actually really like loads. And for the outside of this, it's not done yet at the back, but for the outside we have a nice big porch on the back, which I love, and the sides of this house are cool as well. But I have a gazebo that I'm working on, and I might even have a separate tutorial for something like this. It'll be improved before I make a tutorial for it, but I think a gazebo, stuff to add in gardens, I think is interesting, because I'm always wondering what I can add to gardens to make them cool. Tree houses, ponds, barbecue, stuff like that. Gazebo is kind of like at the top of my list of cool, or at least I like it. And we also like the sides of the house are kind of cool, and especially this one. I think that this is looks really good. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but yeah, suburban house number 9. It's not been tutorialed yet, and I'll tutorial it when I actually get back off a holiday and everything. Then the last thing that you'll see in this world is trains. I'm making a train station because you guys have been asking for a train station, a mall, and an arcade, and an airport for as long as I can possibly remember. So I'm starting work on the train/train station. I've almost completed the train. I started off, you know, like Virgin trains. I started off with like a colour scheme looking like that, but it looks very much like the German flag. And I thought that I'd make a train that's a little bit more neutral. Not that I have anything against the German flag. I actually quite like the colours of this train, but it does seem kind of like a German train. And I wanted to just move away from anything like that. I just wanted to make a bit more of a generic, random looking train. This is one right here. here. It actually functions quite well as a train. It's not 100% completely finished, but we have like the front of the train, the driving force, so I might add more things to this in the future, but yeah, this is like the front of the train. And we also have here, we have a carriage where obviously we have seats and tables and stuff. It'll all be changed, made a little bit more detailed and stuff in the future. And then we have like an empty carriage at the back, and that might even be the back of the train. I haven't decided yet, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. Definitely going to be making a train station in the future. And then I got a little bit upset because I'm actually reaching the edge of the world. You can see that there's a very clear distinction between this grass and that grass. You can't move any further. I thought these worlds were unlimited. I was completely wrong. I thought they were. I'm a little bit sad. I'm a little bit saddened by this, but yeah. That is my creative world tour. We still have my park to do, and I realize how long this has been. This is such a long world tour. God damn, guys. Welcome to my park. Where do I begin? I'll probably begin right at the start. This thing gets bigger and bigger every single week. So I've already made a tutorial for my public park. This is what this is. It's kind of like a public park that anybody would be able to go to. I've already made kind of like a nice little park tour. So I'm only going to focus on the builds that we've glossed over in this world. I will show you everything, but I'll explain a little bit more about certain ones. So this is a tennis court. We saw this a little bit earlier. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? It's a nice kind of like outdoor tennis court. We've got a net. We've got kind of like the umpire chair. We've got a little bit of seating area over on the opposite side. We've got a nice bench, and it's just kind of like a regular court with a bit of clay around it. Looks really nice. You guys can find a tutorial for this down in the description below, of course. Next thing I want to show you is my food truck. This one sells cake and only cake. One of my favorite food trucks next to the meat food truck. This has its own tutorial. Not only do I show you how to make the outside of this thing, but I also show you how to make the inside with it. It has a nice little driving, a nice little chair, steering wheel. It has a nice little gear stick, which also opens the door, funnily enough, and we have a nice little like cooking area and stuff inside the food truck. Love this thing to bits. Wish you guys loved it as much as I did, unfortunately. Looks absolutely fantastic. Next thing I want to show you is, we glossed over this earlier, this is a nice little public swimming pool. So anyone can come here, have a bit of a swim around. I wouldn't suggest it, but you can. We have a diving board, we have a nice L-shaped pool, we kind of have like a little hot tub jacuzzi. You know how some swimming pools have like jacuzzis and stuff, or at least at my gym they do anyway, and that's what that thing is. It breaks up the pool a little bit. You can go and have a bit of sit down in there with your friends and enjoy the bubbles. We have a nice little bit of a bridge here, looking pretty nice, overlooking the pool. We have a lifeguard chair. We also have some outdoor showers that you can just kind of rinse the chlorine off in. You don't want to smell, do you? And we also have an outdoor little laying area as well, looking pretty nice if I do say so myself. That is my public swimming pool, guys. Check that out. I've shown you this before, so in fast forward, this is simply a children's playground. I plan on making a better version of this in the future to expand the park, a nice proper version of this. So it has like swings, it has a seesaw, it has a climbing frame, it has a sandpit, and it has a nice little merry-go-round. But yeah, that is my children's playground. I'll still include a link in the description, but it's not the main part of this. This is a food stand. Yeah, I love these. I have 3 of these in the park. Awesome looking food stand. Check this out in the description below. This one particularly sells apples. This one over here, fully customizable, by the way. This one's purple. This one sells cake. You can see that I have a thing about cake, and this one's entitled Food. And we have a red one over there. We also have a bit of a duller one over here. This is the meat stand. My favorite. Seeing meat, just a meat stand. We also have what we saw a little bit earlier. We've seen this quite a bit already, but this is like my little duck pond. This one doesn't have a bridge or anything to it, but I thought that it'd be a cool thing to include in the center of the park. I'll include a link down below in the description, of course, if you want to build this thing. Looks really nice. I mean, the inside of this thing, you can't actually get into it because it's too small, but theoretically, if you wanted to put chickens or something in there and have them roam this thing and make it so that they couldn't drown themselves in the water, the duck pond is an excellent build to any sort of suburban house or anywhere you want to put it. It works well quite in a few locations. So next thing I want to show you, I'm really proud of this one. Skate park, looking great. We even have little miniature skateboards, by the way. These kinda look like skateboards. I really like them. My favorite one is over here. Like, this is like a regular bog standard skateboard. As you can see, it kind of fits the color scheme with like the bowl. I call this thing the bowl. where you'd skate in. You know, like that big giant hole in the ground that has like a big giant lip and everything. It looks like a big giant bowl in the ground, basically. Also has like stairs and stuff to grind on, and like a big giant grind rail. And this is a half pipe, looking pretty good. I'll show you how to make this. I can show you how to make this in its entirety, including little skateboards as well. It's just a cool build to add to like a park. I see a lot of these in parks these days, and even if you want to add it to like a city or anything, it looks awesome just to throw in there. We have a basketball court. I've shown you guys this loads. That's a basketball court. We also have over here in this direction, this is a soccer field. Again, I've shown you this thing loads, guys. You guys have seen my soccer field before, or football field, wherever you are in the world. We have now something that you haven't seen before, much of, or you probably have by this time actually, public toilet. You guys asked me to make a public toilet. I think I did a really good job. I love how these look. It looks so modern and nice. We have a Steve toilet, which actually has a pig roaming around in it because of video purposes. Jesus! Right at the door, Mr. Pig. Oh, it stinks in here. Oh, what have you done? We have urinal. We have a toilet. That's supposed to have toilet paper in it. The pig obviously used all of it. And we also have equivalent bathroom for the Alexes of the world, the ladies' toilets. And we have pretty much the same thing minus the urinal, and of course it's a lot bit cleaner in here, it always is. And we have the toilet paper here. The pig didn't sneak in to the female toilets. Good, good. At least he had some morals. You stay in there. You stay with your smell. But yeah, I have a tutorial which will show you how to make all of this, like the inside and the outside. And what, Jesus? What are you doing? Get back in there. Shoo. Shoo. No one wants to see your face. Okay, young man, you stay in that door. Yeah, public toilet. And the very last build that I have to show you is one of my favorites of all time. I wish that you guys loved it on the channel as much as I loved building it. This is a mini golf course. I made this because you guys asked for one, and I loved the idea. It looks so cool. So there's only 8 holes. It kind of fits a biome theme. So this is kind of like the random like plains grass theme. We have kind of like a nice little igloo, kind of like a snow biome. We have like a desert biome, and the ball comes here, it actually curves through here. We have like a jungle biome hole, and we also have like a nether one, and the final hole of course is the end one, and we have a dozy loopy looking ender dragon. And right up the middle we have stuff that you'd find in like a regular mini golf course. So we have like a mini castle, and we have a little mini windmill as well. And this thing takes like well over an hour to make, which is the only downside of this. It takes so long to make, but looks so cool, fully customizable. You can mess about with the holes any way that you want, because I actually show you how to make the template on the floor first, and then I show you how to do like each one of the individual biomes. So check that out if you want. Love this thing to bits. That's my mini golf course, and that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes this Creative World Tour. I wonder how many builds I showed you. I feel as though that I showed you guys loads of them. If you enjoyed this tour, please give this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. I think that we've been going for well over an hour now. It might not cut down to that much, but I've been recording for well over an hour. Please give it a like if you appreciated this, if you liked this video. I'd really appreciate it anyway. Comment down below. What would you like to see next? Now, I won't be able to check the comments on this video for a little while until after this has been posted, because as I've said a couple of times already, I'm actually going away on holiday, and by the time this is posted, and because this has been made before, I won't be able to respond to comments or anything, but I'll definitely check them out when I get back, and hopefully you guys give me a good couple of suggestions to make some stuff. You can see that I'm working on some stuff that you haven't seen on the channel already, some suburban houses and train stations and rooms and stuff that I think that you guys will really enjoy, and some ender houses. I've got plenty of ideas, but I always love some more. Follow me on Twitter at TSMC360. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the cards and the description below if you want to have some of my favorite playlists. I'll link in the cards, not the description below. In the cards, I will link you my favorite playlist, but in the description below, remember, I will leave a link to every single one of the builds that has a tutorial. Every single one of them, in order that they appear. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.